A pair of Maryland siblings is in federal custody, charged with what U.S. attorneys call a $5 million online romance scheme. WUSA 9 investigative reporter Nathan Baca talked with FBI agents who say it's easy to fall victim to these kinds of scams.
200 online romances over 3 years from right here in this Gaithersburg apartment complex. But the U.S. Attorney's Office says that the two brothers that lived here, David and Leslie Anor, scam their online partners, sometimes for up to tens of thousands of dollars each.
The federal complaint says these victims come from across the U.S. These are just some of the listed victims. The feds mention other victims with an age range from 38 to 83 years old. Charging documents accuse the Anor brothers and their accomplices with pulling off a variety of aliases in their romance scam. They include military contractor in Afghanistan, underwater welder in Ireland, medical student in Germany, or oil rig worker off Venezuela.
This is what these people do. They live off of people that they think they can con.
Virginia resident Carolyn Hamby was nearly taken in by a separate romance scam and shared messages another man sent her with WUSA 9's Delia Gonsalves back in 2018.
Where have you been all my life? You're just like everything I've ever wanted.
Two local FBI experts told us the red flags to avoid internet romance scams.
Within pretty short order, there's a request for funding of some kind. Again, whether it be for emergency to help fund or they can't get money into the country where they are, and so they need a wire transfer to help with a business transaction. These very elaborate and well thought out stories that seem very believable, but just really are not.
They never forget who you are. So if you're someone who's given them money in the past, like 6 months ago, I was in a relationship and I lost $1,000, but I met this new guy today. He seems so nice. It's like he knows me. Well, he does. It's the same guy that ripped you off before.
Brothers David and Leslie Anor are currently being held in federal custody because a magistrate believes that with their family connections in Ghana, they have a high risk of leaving the United States. Now, I reached out to their federal public defender, who told me he has no comment. In Gaithersburg, Nathan Baca, WUSA 9.